and welcome to Sarah's Joyful Journey. I'm Sarah Joy. Today I am going to do some meal prepping and I have quite a long list here. We'll go over it in a minute. I don't know how much I will actually get done, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna start in order of importance and then go from there. They are not listed in order of importance, so we'll go over and see what we're actually going to attempt to make today. So my friend Hope from Mission Keto has made these bacon burger bites that have looked amazing. Well, today I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I bought some meat from Publix that was on sale, and that was supposed to be for meatballs, but I still have some meatballs left in the fridge, and I'm gonna take most of that, not all of it, I'll save some of it, and I'm going to turn it into bacon burger bites. The other thing I'm going to do, and this is one of the most important things, is I am going to make hot dog buns using Indigo Neely's butter bread recipe, because we have meatballs in the fridge and I want to make meatball sandwiches. So I've got some Rouse marinara to go with that. I might make some additional meatballs, but they're not actually on my list because I will have leftovers of that. The other thing that I want to make is I am going to make, Maria Emmerich makes a strawberry egg pudding that is got protein sparing modifying fast macros, and I want to try it. So it uses egg whites instead of whole eggs, and then she uses the Equip protein powder. Since I am dairy free this month, I've only had one tiny slip up, and I don't count butter as dairy for me. Butter's the only dairy I'm allowing then. My one tiny slip up was I went to lunch with a friend the other day. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I got a side salad with my lunch and I put ranch on it. Didn't even think, but it was a small amount. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just rolling right back on with the dairy free. So we're going to do that one because I figured it'd be good to either go with lunches or breakfast or something like that, or just go on the side of a meal. And it sounds delicious. So I just want to give it a try. The other thing I'm gonna make is I'm gonna make some chicken salad with bacon, and I have some ranch seasoning. So I'm gonna make chicken bacon ranch salad that I can have either on its own or I can put with egg bread. I have a feeling I'm gonna have a leftover batter because I'm only gonna make 4 hot dog buns. So the leftover batter will turn into an egg loaf, and then I can use it for sandwiches, whatnot. And then I would like to bake some eggs. I'm gonna see if I can pull out the mold right here. It is a silicone mold for, also you could use it for hot dog buns, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some eggs in here. And what I want to do is I bought some turkey sausage and I want to bake some eggs. Oh, and I do have 2 of these. I didn't even realize I had 2, but I do have 2 of these molds. I'm only going to do probably 1 mold. I'll do 6 eggs and see what it is. Let me turn around and see what Ghost just knocked off. I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Ghost got the TV remote. So again, back to the baked eggs. I want to turn them into breakfast sandwiches, so I'll have 2 eggs and then sausage in the middle. So that sounds fabulous. So I'm going to make a tray of that. I would like to make some electrolyte Jello or gummies. So I got some of the new salty. So I may use this for the electrolytes Jello, or I might use some of the Element Tea. I don't know which yet. That one is one that I'm willing to cross off my list. It's fun, and I've been doing a lot of exercise recently, so it's nice to be able to sometimes just grab something that's easy and good for me, and we'll get those electrolytes in as well. I have some pork belly that's defrosted that I do need to cook up today. That will probably be one of the first things that I do because it will be very easy to do. And then I shouldn't do any keto treats, but Maria Emmerich released a video the other day for some French macarons. And I love French macarons. And they're not gonna be equivalent, they're not gonna be like a true macaron because they don't use almond flour, they don't have the feet and stuff like that. But I'm like, this sounds delicious. It's all made with Equip and protein powder. They don't have any extra dairy in it. It's just butter for the filling. She used peanut butter and she used strawberry. She called them peanut butter and jelly, so you should go check up look up the recipe. So I'm going to make mine. I think I'm going to do mine either, my cookie is going to be chocolate, and I'm either going to make my filling salted caramel or iced coffee. I haven't decided which, but I'm really eager to try them. And I might try them again in a couple weeks because I have a tea party that we're doing as a meetup here in Central Florida in March. And I know one of the recipes I'm going to do. I do not know the other ones, but our theme again is a tea party. So it's going to be small things, bite-sized food, stuff like that. I know I at least want to do 4 dishes. I might do 5. I'm only asking people to bring 1, but I'm asking everybody to make mini food. So sometimes when people make mini food, they make smaller amounts, which is totally fine and doable. But I want to make sure that I am being a good hostess and I am making a variety of things with a little bit bigger volume to go with that. So I'm going to make my orange cream coconut macarons or macaroons. And then hopefully I'll make some French macarons. Yeah, that's a tongue twister for you. I want to try a scone at some point, but I'm not going to try the scone recipe until February when I'm not dairy free, because right now I really want to, for January, stick with dairy free, and then I want to add some dairy back in the form of occasional cheese and keto chow. Heavy cream has to be permanently gone from my diet. I've already decided that, unless it's in a recipe very, very rarely that I use. So that is my plan for today. So as you can see, it is quite a big list and we're gonna get started. I think I'm going to start with the pork belly and then I'm gonna get the hamburger bun or the hot dog buns ready to go because that's the most important. And I can at least get the pork belly sliced and cooking in the air fryer and we'll go from there. All right, come along with me and let's get started. Right, as you saw, I am probably going to have 2 to 3 batches of pork belly. The first batch is in the air fryer. I'm feeling hungry, so instead of starting the bread, I am going to go ahead and make my chicken bacon ranch chicken salad because I'll probably eat that in just a few minutes. What I did on the pork belly was I added a little bit of this Redmond's Real Salt apple pecan, that smoked salt. It's going to be yummy. I kept it fairly light because my husband doesn't like as much salt as I do, so I can add more and it should be just right for him. All right, so let's move on and get some chicken bacon ranch done. All right, so change of plans. I was going to do bacon chicken ranch. This is the ranch seasoning I was going to use. Thankfully, I read it. The first ingredient is non-fat dry milk, so it's dairy. So that is out. So I'm going to do a buffalo seasoning. I'm going to use this one. I bought these to try them. They're pretty good. They're not super clean because it does have some corn maltodextrin in it. But it works in a pinch. I'm going to use it, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I'll get that started. But real quick, I did want to show you where Ghost is, and it's really funny. He's eating some blueberries. Here is Ghost. He's eating some freeze-dried blueberries. All my stuff is on the counter right here, and this is where I stand, and he's right under my feet. So he's a good little dude. He is now 15 pounds and growing quickly. He's done nothing but eat today. So he's had breakfast and second breakfast, and we're probably gonna have some lunch. He's enjoying, like I said, those blueberries as a snack. I'm gonna get back on and make my food because I'm getting hungry. All right, so for my salad, my chicken salad, I grabbed 2 of these little containers because they'll fit well in my refrigerator. I have 2 cans of chicken. I'm gonna open those and drain those in a minute. I have some bacon bits. I'm gonna season it with salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, and then again, the buffalo ranch. So it's gonna be the buffalo powder. And then to pull it all together is going to be butter mayo. You are hearing my air fryer tell me that it is time to stir up my bites. So I will do that and drain my chicken, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, here I have my containers, and my chicken is poured out. I got all the liquid drained. I'm using canned chicken for convenience because it's just easy and quick. Grab a fork and a spoon, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to start breaking up the chicken just a little bit. Y'all know how to make chicken salad. It's nothing super complicated or anything like that. But I have some pork rinds left, so I think this is going to be my lunch with a little bit of pork rinds today. All right, let's add in our bacon bits. And this is just some real bacon from Oscar Mayer, because it was convenient and easy. Adding a little salt, so we can always add more. Some pepper. A little bit of onion. A little bit of garlic, and then I'm going to be pretty generous with the buffalo seasoning since that's going to be my main flavor. All right, and then now I'm going to put some butter mayo in these. Is anybody else a messy cook? I am like a messy cook. I clean up as I go, so I mean it doesn't like totally stay messy in my house, but I am a messy cook. I get stuff all over everywhere all the time. I would love to know if you are. Hopefully I'm not the only messy cook out there. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna grab another little fork and I'm gonna do a taste test to see if I need to adjust my seasonings. Nope, that's pretty good. All right, so we got 1 container done and ready for the fridge. This is probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter mayo. I like my chicken salad creamy, but I don't like it like super drenched. All right, well there we have it. Something actually crossed off my list. Ghost is over here digging at my feet. He's wanting my attention for sure. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff put away and cleaned up, and I will be back with you momentarily when the first batch of pork belly bites are done. All right, so the pork belly bites, the first batch just went off and they are looking pretty good. So I'm gonna get them out and into this bowl to cool. Once these are cool, I will put them in a bag, and these can be like little side dishes. Have some eggs, grab some pork belly. I do try really hard not to snack. Lately I've been pretty hungry because I get up so early and I'm active as soon as I get up because I'm with Ghost. He gets up between 4:30 and 5, so it keeps me going pretty well through the day. All right, so there's the first batch of pork belly. I'm gonna get the second batch going and get everything set up to do hot dog buns. Okay, we've got everything set up to make Indigo Neely's butter bread. You can find it on her website, indigoneely.com. It's the next level butter bread. So to make this, we are going to need some egg white protein, some beef gelatin, some cream of tartar, some allulose, some dried egg yolk. I have this in a container. This is the leftover, so I'm going to use that. And then we're going to need some frozen butter. And you're also going to need your scale. I'm going to go ahead and a clean bowl. I'm going to go ahead and get the scale out of the way, because the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grate up this butter. Thankfully, I always keep butter in my freezer so I don't have to wait for frozen butter. It's a great tip, by the way. Keeps it lasting longer. So I'm going to go ahead and just grate it into this bowl real quick, and then we're going to put it back into the freezer before we move on with the rest of our stuff. Now, I do not have a KitchenAid mixer any longer. I had one before we moved to Florida, and I'm really regretting getting rid of it now. Maybe one day soon I'll actually be able to replace it, because I loved it. They're just very expensive, so I can't replace it currently. I had the nice 5-quart professional one. It was beautiful. I loved it. I made so many cakes and things with it. And that's my oven telling me it is ready to go. For the butter bread, you're also going to need to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. You can still hear my air fryer going off. I put the second batch of pork belly bites in there. I'm going to actually have to do a third. Normally I grate this on a plate, and I should have done that this time. I was hoping that I could just stick these in the freezer easily and it all fit into one of these little fruit bowls, but it doesn't. But we're gonna roll with it. I'll just continue making a mess and get this all in here. Once this butter is grated, we are gonna go ahead and put it back in the freezer. All right, I will speed this up and we'll get through the rest of the bread here shortly. The butter bread is mixed all together. Go ahead and get this out of the way. And I have my hot dog mold. This was gifted to me by Hope from Mission Keto, so I'm super excited to use it. And I also have another silicone one. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start scooping this into our hot dog molds. This is the first time I'm using them, so we'll see how this goes. Just gonna spoon them in. I want them kind of full, but like not too full. These are good for sub rolls. Just anytime you're working with egg whites, just remember to be very gentle, or you'll cause them to fall and flatten out, because this does not rise like regular bread. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm just gonna make 2, or should I make 4? I'm gonna make 4. I'm gonna see how far this batter goes. If I have to end up making more batter for bread, well then I'll make more batter for bread. I know we have enough meatballs for us to have a meatball sub tonight. And I always have stuff for meatballs, so I can always make more if needed. All right, so I can get 4 in here pretty well. Again, messy cook. All right, I still have a decent amount of batter, so let me get these out of the way. And then I'm gonna bring over this mold. And then I'm just gonna dump this in here. I could have used my hamburger mold, because Hope also gave me a hamburger bun mold. And I'll have to experiment with that one here soon. Maybe early next week before I go back to work, because that would be good for lunches. Just make a little set of hamburger buns. All right, so this is gonna be a little loaf. Normally it's quite high and thick, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and just clean off my spatula. And my hands are clean, but also you're not eating in my kitchen. So even if they weren't, you're not eating it, but they are. All right, so these are going to go in the oven for 45 minutes. All right, we're moving right along. The bread is in the oven. We've crossed off several things on our list. I still have to do the bacon burger bites, the strawberry egg pudding, baked eggs, electrolyte jello, and then the French macarons. What I'm gonna do now is I am going to clean up, let my air fryer cool off, and I'm gonna go do my second devotional while the bread is baking, and allowed my camera or my phone to charge up so that I can continue recording. And I will check back when the bread is done. Well, I checked the bread. It took 35 minutes. So they both look pretty done. I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the molds and set them on the rack to cool. I didn't actually get my second devotion in. I will have to do that later, but I'm gonna get these out and then we're gonna move on with baked eggs. Well, the bread is out of the molds. I'm okay with the loaf being as small as it is. My hot dog buns kind of collapsed. So it's okay for a first attempt. They're not very thick. So I think next time I make them, and the bottom's got nice and brown, I think next time I make them, I might really heap them over that mold and make them very big. And we'll go from there. But for tonight, you know, we can make open face meatball sandwiches. It'll work. But you know, you gotta experiment and not be afraid to try. And this is my first attempt and it went okay. And I have some ideas on how to improve on it next time. You will have seen me put the eggs in the tray. I did decide to go ahead and do all 12. Just makes it convenient. I did pop the yolks. I want this to be kind of like an egg McMuffin type thing, and they pop their yolks. So these are gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna put them in there for 10 minutes and then we'll check and see how they do after that. While the eggs are in the oven baking, they are baking at 350. I didn't say that before. I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get started on the egg whites for this strawberry protein sparing modifying fast egg pudding. I did have to look it up. It does say that 2 tablespoons is equivalent of about 1 large egg white. So I'm going to need about a cup of the liquid egg whites, and they do have to cool. So we're gonna get those measured and started cooking. I am going to lightly spray my pan with some of this Wagyu tallow, and we'll get cooking. As I was getting ready to pour my egg whites, I read the back. It says that a half cup is 4 egg whites, so I should need a cup and a quarter. That will give me the 10 egg whites. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those poured out and measured, and we'll get them started cooking in a moment. All right, I will show you the cooking the egg whites. The egg whites cooked really quickly, so I'm just gonna grab a bowl and I'm gonna plop them into a bowl, and then they're gonna go in the refrigerator to chill out for a little while. And then once I get these in here, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my skillet, and we're gonna come back and I'm going to move on with, I think, my electrolytes pudding or jello. I'm actually gonna turn it into gummy bears, but I've got to make sure I have some room in the fridge for that. So I will organize a little bit in there, and we'll be back in just a moment. The baked eggs are done. I'm gonna let them cool a little bit, and then I'm gonna pop them out of these molds, and we'll get them in a bag or something. They turned out okay. A couple of them popped up a little bit, but I think it'll still work for my purpose. Again, this is the first time I'm just kind of experimenting. So there we go. As soon as I get a few more things cleaned up, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do some gummies. I'm gonna shift gears just a tiny bit. I realized I should have sprayed my eggs when I pulled them out. They're a little bit thin and a little bit bigger than I'd like them to be. So it's okay. You learn as you go. Next time I'm gonna do them in muffin tins, and I think they'll fit the sausages much better. So I have the brown and serve sausages that I got in my grocery haul this week, or the heat and serve. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put these in the microwave just for a little bit. They don't have to be hot. I just want them defrosted. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cook up 12 strips of bacon. I'm gonna put my egg sandwiches together. They were gonna be just sausage, but I'm gonna do sausage and bacon for those today. All right, let's get started. Well, you just saw me put together our breakfast egg sandwiches. I'm gonna consider a serving as 2 sandwiches, so it'll have 4 total eggs. It will have 2 slices of bacon and 2 sausage on it. It'd be great with cheese. I think it'll be good without cheese as well. Perfect for bringing on a work lunch or breakfast or whatever. I am gonna cut something off my list. So my list so far, we have done the egg sandwiches, we've done the butter bread and the hot dog buns. I'm gonna do the strawberry egg pudding next. I might be cutting 2 things off. For sure, I'm gonna cut off Maria Emmerich's French macarons. I think I'm gonna do those tomorrow, and I'll do a video for those and just show you me making those, and it'll just be its own video. I still have to make the burger bites, and I think I'm gonna cut the electrolyte jello off because it's almost 2 o'clock. I'm tired and my steps are way behind, so I need to do a step workout, and my step workout for 10,000 steps takes me an hour and a half, and I just want to get that done and out of the way and rest as well. So let's get this egg pudding together and let's move on to the bacon burger bites. So for the egg white pudding, we're gonna need our egg whites that we scrambled. These are completely cold. We're going to need 3/4 cup of almond milk. It says you can use canned coconut milk, but I have almond milk. We're gonna need a little bit of powdered swerve, And we're gonna need 3 scoops of Equip Prime Protein strawberry, and it says a pinch of salt. All right, I'm going to mix it in this and then put it in another container just because that's the best one for mixing. Let's get started. All right, another thing done. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cross the strawberry egg pudding with the whites off my list. That came together really quickly. It's really thin, but this does thicken up when it sits overnight. She does say this is supposed to be 5 servings. I don't know about that. I don't know. Let me pull my iPad over here and see what she is saying a serving is. So she's saying a serving, she doesn't say exactly what a serving is. She says that it does thicken up overnight. It can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 4 days. She said you could turn it into pudding pops. That would be fun eventually to get some popsicle molds and make this into popsicles. So that would be fun. But yeah, she's saying it serves 5. I don't know if that's gonna serve 5 for me. I might get 3 out of that. But when I sit down and I have pudding, I have decently big meals. And to divide this into 5 servings would leave me really hungry. But that's okay. I still wanted to try it. So we're gonna get that done. I'm gonna clean up and we're gonna come back and do our bacon burger bites. Right, you saw me put together the bacon burger bites. I do have a little bit of leftover bacon. I used 2 pounds of meat and about 1 pound of bacon. This leftover bacon I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cook up, and it's just going to be ready to grab. Just because I was handling the raw meat, I just want to get it cooked so it's still safe, and that'll be good. I did get 17 burger bites. I used 2 pounds of hamburger, and then I just seasoned it with Redmond seasoned salt, and the first batch is going. I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the air fryer in just a few minutes. Here are most of the bacon burger bites done. I have the last batch is in the air fryer. They turned out beautifully. And I'm super excited to have this recipe. I think it's going to be one that's going to be in regular rotation for us. It is meatball adjacent, and I am on a meatball kick, so we'll be eating these again soon. Well, there you have it, a full day of meal prepping. I'm exhausted. I need to go and finish my second devotion, and then I have to do my steps. Thankfully, I found a nice long workout on YouTube for getting in 15,000 steps. So that'll get me really close to my goal of 20,000. And then maybe when Matt gets home, I might try to go out for another little walk. We'll see. If not, I will be very, very close to my goal for the day. And it's still a win, even if I don't get to 20,000, because I will have been very, very active. All right, if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. Have a wonderful day, and bye for now.